Acton is a very friendly and curious horse. He's a dressage horse, well trained, knows what he's doing, but he was lame for a while and didn't get ridden. And then back in training, he managed to buck off his owner pretty impressively. So here we are evaluating right now his body, his spine, the spinal cord. We check for pressure points, pain points, for sensitive vertebrae, and just to make sure that that buck did not come from pain or impingement of any kind. We didn't find much reactivity, so he doesn't seem to be in a lot of pain. We found some issues in his right shoulder. There was some restrictions there. And what's obvious during the treatment is that he really looks for connection and interaction. Whatever I do with him, he likes, it's curious, he wants to participate, and he really looks to communicate with me. So he told me clearly that he would like to have more attention from his owner. He would like to be more involved, more in the middle of attention. So he really likes to interact, and I think that's maybe the biggest information we got out of this session. So he's very into interacting. He lets me stretch his forelegs without any resistance. That bad fall happened the day before our session, and I'm very happy to see them both walking and not being too traumatized. When I look at Ladera, I see that she has a very stiff center part. Her rib cage is stiff. She had a hard time making a small turn and kind of broke in with her right hind end. Otherwise, she seems pretty good. When we look at her conformation, we see that her hind feet are very narrow, very close together. I saw that the right nostril is higher than the left one, so there's more tension on the right side. And she has a lot of weight in her forehand, and the shoulders are very obvious, so the left side is much higher than the right. When I palpated her left neck and her left side, I realized that there was so much tension in the tissue and the skin. There was hardly any movement possible. She reacted very sensitively to touch, released quickly. A lot of Ladera's tension came from her paw and from her hyoid. The hyoid was clearly displaced and moved to her right side, and as I palpate here, the space between the jawline and C1 is more narrow on the left, so C1 was more oriented to the left side. Horses with a lot of neck and paw tension really like that shaking motion to release the muscles and the fascia. That means the blood vessels and the nerves heading from the head to the torso and back have more space to glide and get freed up. She had an old trauma, and x-rays showed a fracture of C3, so we spent quite some time into bending and flexing and creating more mobility in the neck. The left shoulder was super tight. I could barely pick up some slack in the skin, so we did skin rolling and some myofascial work to create more space. I spent a lot of time working on her rib cage, compressing the ribs into each other and to create some softness. She really enjoyed the jaw stretches forward, and I also addressed the tight adductor muscles and stretched the hind leg sideways and back to give her hip joints more mobility and more freedom. The medical intuitive reading showed that horse and rider are both very eager to win and want to give their best, but they're almost standing in each other's way and hindering each other instead of standing next to each other and focusing on the same goal. So we talked about connection exercises to create a deeper trust and a deeper level of trust, which will pay off in competitions and in situations which need even more reliability on each other. I treated the rider right after the horse, and it was very obvious that she also had some issues turning to her right side. So her upper torso had a slight rotation to the left and her right shoulder was higher up, and it was not easy for her to initiate a movement to her right side. So addressing both of those limitations, the horse tightness on the left and her rotation to the left, hopefully will bring some change, and we will see what happens in the near future.